White people don't give a about the N-word anymore. This white woman is in trouble for calling a black child the N-word. People don't really give a about her calling the black child the N-word one way or another. What they give a about is the Somali pirate who recorded her and thought he was going to put her on blast. I'll show you guys. Here we go. So here, we're going to watch this real quick.
Did you call him the child? Did you call the child the word? It is my own business. You call him a... Okay, why don't you have the balls to say it right now again? Okay. You know, that's a hate speech. And you can be recorded for that.
I don't give a shit.
Huh.
Fuck off.
Okay, we'll see about that, what the internet has to say about you.
What the internet has to say about you, that's his whole point.
Seeing is believing. I have never seen anybody be racist to a child on the spectrum of...
Okay, and then, here's the thing. I don't even believe that this kid that she supposedly called the N-word is on the spectrum. I don't even believe that. I think this Somali pirate is adding things because he wants this whole thing to be extra. Now, here's the thing, right? We got an immigrant in Minnesota. By the way, Minnesota imported all of these Somalis into Minnesota. What the hell a bunch of desert dwellers who need the heat are doing in the coldest climate is beyond me. How did they get there? They certainly didn't figure out how to get there on their own. The Somali refugee shows up in Minnesota and suddenly he knows all about our laws here. Hate speech. I'm going to record you. Let's see what the internet has to say about that. I've never in my life seen racism towards a little child. You're a Somali, dude. Somali, look, you guys say whatever you want, but I know for a fact Middle Easterners and Egyptians and Somalis are all super racist against blacks, okay? There's a whole scale of racism. The darker you get, the more racism you get, even from somebody else who's brown, because they're just happy to be a little less brown than you. So he's full of shit. Now, let's get more into it, because what you don't realize is this little has a record. So here's the guy that filmed him is this guy on the right, Sharmak Bile Omar. And what do you know? He was in jail after being charged with 3rd and 5th degree criminal sexual conduct after being accused of raping a 16-year-old after offering her a place to stay. Let's see what else they say. They may receive a joint trial, and they're being charged in the 3rd degree. So, Mr. You are being racist toward a child, and this is literally the worst thing you can do, turns out to be a child rape. You can't even make this shit up, folks. You can't even make it up, okay? But this is what happens now with these people. These highly immoral people want to tell you about the words you can and can't say because they've learned. They've learned from the communist color revolution that the highest sin is racism. And the reason they've made that the highest sin is because it makes white people the most guilty of it. By the way, I'm pretty sure he says it a bunch of times when he sees African Americans. I guarantee it, okay? But this is these people who like to get this kind of credit, this emotional credit, by being like, oh, I'm going to put this white woman on blast. First of all, you're a child sex predator. What are you doing at the park? You're at the park with no kids. You just want to film this woman because she called this 5-year-old who now you're claiming is autistic, all right? Look, these people might be low IQ, but the thing about this propaganda is it works no matter how stupid you are. It's pretty easy to catch on to it, okay? Accuse a white person of racism, add some other vulnerable victim qualities on the other person. Oh, they're gay or something, right? This is a hate crime. And, and then just film it and be like, oh, the internet's going to really like you, okay? And if you want to know how black people are taking this, let's go ahead and take a look. Credit to, let's give him credit. Let's make sure we give him credit. Let's put this guy on blast. Tizzy is on it. Yeah, this fat
child and his siblings
boomer bitch
and play together. The kid she's going after has autism.
How do you know that?
Behave in a neurotypical way.
No, here we go. Here we go. Oh, you're going to use all the freaking language. Oh, it doesn't behave in a neurotypical way. Yeah, he's stabbing you. It's hey. He's just not behaving in a neurotypical way. We got to be done with these fat like this. These are just fat who make excuses. I love how they all have tons of compassion and empathy for culprits, but no compassion and empathy for their own kind. Why? Because they're totally cucked and they want to take it up. This guy's he's a Can you imagine if this was your dad and you're getting assaulted by some black teens and he'd be like, hey, hey, don't be racist.
Justify her calling him slurs and pursuing him physically, which is what she says she was doing before this guy intervened. He said after he stopped recording, she sat down, hurled more slurs, told him and his wife that they should leave the country, and then...
Based, 100% right. This Somali child should leave the country. Did you know that he was a child? Didn't matter because he's Somali. Well, country's so great. We're so loving. Let's bring in all the people. We hate our own kind. Because you're cocked. Okay? Because you don't have any courage. You know you're losing. You know the enemy wants you dead. And you're doing the thing that losers and cowards do, which is, hey, if I align myself with the enemy, even though the enemy hates me, if I grovel at his knees, maybe they'll remember me and not put me and my wife in the camps. Because if this would have happened, like just a few years ago, there's no way that she would have received this kind of support. She would have had white people going on, denouncing it. This is not okay. This is not acceptable. We don't even care anymore. That's right. We don't care. You know why? We just watched a perfectly healthy white teenager get stabbed to death in the heart for asking a black teenager to move because he was not where he was supposed to be. And we watched the whole black community rally around a murderer championing on his actions, indicating what it is they actually desire from us. So we're done. We're done. We don't give a fuck if you're 5 and you're autistic. We don't care if you're 13 and you're autistic. We don't care if you're 35 and you're autistic. We're done being called racist. Okay? It's not like she went, look, I'm not a big fan of slurs in general. I don't think they really help our case. But I'm also, even worse than that, I'm not a fan of a bunch of immigrants coming here and telling me I can't say slurs. Go back to your fucking shitty country where you don't even have running water. Why don't you worry about slurs there? The problem is it's so fucking hypocritical. Because you know for a fact that these guys, here's the thing, they're trying to appeal to these higher morals and higher ways of behaving. But they don't even respect the most base morals, like don't rape a child. So when they can't even respect what is considered just universal and norm and a foundation of a civilized society, and then they want to start talking about these higher level morality things of speech and the way you're supposed to talk to each other, it's like, go get dude. We're not falling for this shit. And it's all just a big scam. And here, these guys are like Johnny-come-latelys now, right? Maybe if you would have come here 10 years ago and started getting at white people for being racist, somebody would have gave a fuck. 10 years later, we don't care. Because the real minority in the world is white people, who are 8% of the world's population. And white women, who are 4% of the world's population. And blonde white women, which I am not, okay, but are even less of a percentage. That's the real endangered species. We're jumping through hoops to save the last rhino, but nobody gives a shit about the whole of human civilization pretty much, because that's what Europeans are. Let's get rid of those. It's a full-on genocide there. This is why people don't give a fuck. We do not give a fuck about a woman saying the N-word. And we certainly don't give a fuck when it's a Somali fucking rapist who's filming and telling her how she needs to behave and that this could be considered hate speech. It's amazing. You don't know how to not rape a girl, but you do know all about our hate speech laws right away, right? Amazing. No matter how bad you are, no matter how degenerate you are, no matter how many you've taken up or you've put up someone as, no matter how many, sexual assaults you've committed, domestic abuse cases, crimes you've broken, you're still not as bad as a white person who says the N-word.
Hold my beer for a minute. I'm about to quit my job, cash in for a ticket. I'm going on a trip and I don't plan to visit. I'm gonna stay there till I feel like I'm winning. Oh.